Let's just keep going. Oh, it did some major damage.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thank you so much for joining us on a beautiful day outside. But guess what?
It's too windy.
It's very windy. So we opted to come inside and finally get to rest, sit down. Got my Grand Canyon cup. Cassie opted for no cup.
Just a bottle of water.
But making memories, that's what we're good at, making memories. Today though, I do want to catch up about let's call this a danger to society.
Okay.
A major danger to society. Somebody, we'll tell you in just a little bit, pulled up the stop sign right by our house and completely left it, drove off, so the next person coming through is just going to run the stop sign. So, I'll tell you who did that in just a little bit, but we'll catch up a little bit first. What's been the topic for the last 2 weeks, or actually 2 months, and going to be the next 2 weeks? It's going to come to an end though. What have you been planning, scheduling, getting ready for?
Basketball?
Basketball.
Or the Oklahoma State Expo. I wasn't sure where you were going.
You haven't done anything for the expo.
I've been preparing my speech in my head.
Cassie will have the speech the night before, if she even writes anything out. She might just wing it. So basketball, how's basketball going?
It's about to wrap up. We got playoffs this week for regionals. If we come out of that on top, then we'll make it to the state tournament next week.
The kids have been doing their basketball every Saturday. So, for instance, this Saturday, Ransom had basketball at 10 a.m. So we drove to that at Pryor. Mazzy had basketball at noon in Broken Arrow, which is about an hour away. And then Mazzy had voice lessons at 2 o'clock in Muskogee.
Yep.
And then I had to meet a contractor at 4 o'clock in Peggs to pay for the siding to be finished up. You guys probably saw that on a video, or you'll see it on the next one. Anyway, so there you go. That's been super busy. When you have an appointment at 10 o'clock, noon, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you basically have no Saturday.
Especially when not everyone knows where all those towns are, but those are all spread out.
Yeah, so have been busy, but sometimes it's feels like you're spinning your wheels and you don't really get anything done because you're just busy.
Yep.
And that's pretty much how I feel right now. So, but with that being said, the kids are enjoying their basketball season. Mazzy made a basket. She was super excited about that.
Yep. That's 2 for the season.
She also got talked to by the ref.
I forgot to ask her about that.
Her and another girl were pushing each other around when the ball wasn't even close to them, and probably got a little bit too intense on the pushing and shoving. So she got a good talking to by the ref.
Rangers season wraps up this evening. He's got his last game, so
hopefully all things go well with the end of the season. He don't have any type of tournament.
No.
Mazzy will have some type of tournament.
Yeah, Mazzy, Ransom's age doesn't, but Mazzy will have a postseason tournament to the league she's in, and then my varsity teams have playoffs.
So that's exciting. And we also have big news. We have names for animals.
Yeah.
But what is this? When's this video coming out? You guys got to watch the next Walker Farm Fan video to get that. So the 2 names for the puppy were Iris and
Athena.
And then we had it narrowed down 2 names for our baby calf, the black and white British white calf. Marble, I think was the first name, and Bonnie. So who do you guys think will win those?
I don't know. I vote for Athena for the puppy, and the kids vote for Iris. But the owners are who picked out the names, and they wanted the subs to pick. So they had those 2 names, and then we're telling everybody on Walker Farm Fam, and then the subs will choose in the comments. Some people have been DMing me their vote, but
you can't do that.
It needs to be on YouTube, so in the YouTube comments, or in the Facebook comments, so the owners can see what people are voting on. They can't see my private messages.
Yeah, so don't private message us your votes. Leave it in the YouTube video, the Last Walker Farm Fan videos where we ask for the name suggestions. So you guys go over check out that video. And then tomorrow's Walker Farm Fan video, you'll get to see the results and the names of both of those. So that's what you have look forward to. I know I am looking forward to it.
Did you tell them why Bonnie?
Bonnie is beautiful in...
Bonita is beautiful.
No, Bonnie is beautiful in Scottish.
Oh.
And Bonita is beautiful in Spanish. And the Marble, obviously, you look at her and she looks like she has some a marbling or a marble effect. So both of them are cool. So if you guys want to tell us your name vote for the calf on this video, I guess you could do that because it's not official just yet. But it will be by tomorrow. So like I said, you have to check out Walker Farm Fam to see where that lands. But we also have some other updates in the works as far as our travel that's coming up on spring break. So that's pretty imminent in March. It's already February. That's next month. Like 6 weeks away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we will be going to, we already told you, but we'll be going to the Washington, D.C. area. But our main place besides that D.C. metro area is Pennsylvania. We're going to be going north into Pennsylvania, going into Amish country. Mm-hmm. And I did get a booking completed. Did I tell them this yet? I don't know if I have. We will be staying at an old order Amish farm for 2 nights.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So we'll get to kind of not completely get to know the family, but we'll get to go along as they do chores. I don't know how much we'll get to video, but we'll get to show you at least their farm and our experience in case you guys are interested in doing that. Also, we're going to try to go up a little further north and visit the Veggie Boys store. They have a store there that we're going to go up and try to visit. So a couple things that we already have lined up, and we're still waiting on finalization of some of our tours in Washington, D.C. We do have a tour set to visit the what's it called? You're going to get me on my not knowing my judicial processes and branches. Our senator, Mark Wayne Mullen.
Yeah.
To go and visit him, and I can't think of the name of it. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
So what are you looking forward to, Cassie? I'm gonna look it up real quick. There's no reason not to.
But the reason you have to contact certain people, and he's our representative for Oklahoma, so that's who we have to contact in order to go. But I'm looking forward to
Capitol building, Capitol tours. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, that's easy. I thought you were thinking of something harder than that.
No, so that's the one that we already have scheduled, and we're still waiting on the White House tour. So the tour coordinator said it could be up to a week before we actually get any kind of confirmation. So there's so much going on right now in DC and that area that who knows.
Yeah, so I mean, there's not one specific thing I'm looking forward to. I just love to be able to go and travel and see things. I'm excited to see that area, to see DC, because I've only seen pictures and videos and in history books and things. So kind of compare it to my idea and vision of what it looks like. And then excited to go see Amish country.
So you've never been to Washington, D.C.?
No.
I've been 2 or 3 times, so I'll have to remember that. So it is like seeing the White House for the first time is kind of surreal, just because you've seen all the, like I said, pictures of it, and the National Memorial, Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial is like so much bigger than you would imagine when you're there. To me, it was anyway. So I'm excited. The kids, I feel like this is really an impressionable time in their lives. Ranger 13, Mazzy 11, Ransom 8. He's plenty old enough. Ransom will remember everything that we go and do. And then, of course, they're learning about a lot of these things right now in school. So I think it really will hit home to them whenever they get to see it in person and tour it and that type of thing. So I'm really looking forward to it. Mm-hmm. So as far as things on the farm, though, you guys saw that we did lose Mariposa. We've had a lot of people ask, are we planning on getting more alpacas?
I am not.
And I think that we most likely will keep our alpacas we have, but we'll probably not get more. So when we get down to one, we may end up selling the one alpaca. If something happens to Alfred, I'd hate to see Honey just here by herself.
Yeah.
So we might end up rehoming, finding a new home for her. For me, the reason being is we have many donkeys now, and we've already seen it. Whenever you have to separate males and females, yearlings from this and that, you have to have a lot of small different pens. And with our cattle, and we'll have to put our bull up at some point. If we have heifers that we want to keep back, we'll have to wean them in a separate pen. So you have all these separate pens that you try to keep things in, and at some point you just run out.
Yeah, so we had the alpacas before we had sheep and donkeys, I believe. And so we've got sheep and donkeys now. So like Gary said, you can't just have everything, especially with our amount of land. Because like you said, when we need to go to separate, pretty soon we need to separate Faith. But we're like, okay, where are we going to put her? And where are we going to put Benny? And where are we going to put the alpacas? So it's all just got to make sense. So
yeah, and alpacas, as far as contributing to the farm, there's not a lot of contribution, because we've had one cria born in 3 years, 4 years probably, however long, and that one cria did contribute back to the farm. Probably mainly has just let us break even. So it's not really a good stock. Cattle are a good stock as far as being able to make a profit, because the market's really good and they kind of just take care of themselves.
if all goes as planned, Honey should have a cria in the next couple months or whatever. But if we had an alpaca farm, that might make more sense. Like where the Honey and Mariposa came from, they were like an alpaca farm. And they, I'm sure, were profitable because they had several babies every year. But when you just have two, and then your males are old and might not always do their job, and then Mariposa was elderly, so that's just not real profitable for the farm.
Yeah, and one of the reasons that Mariposa probably came to us from that farm may have been shut down. I don't remember, but she was older when we got her. She was already 15. We knew when we got her that she was on the last end of her life.
If I remember correctly, the owner was up in age, and they were trying to disperse not needed ones or whatever to downsize so that the owner could continue to do the alpacas, but at a smaller level that made sense for their ability, for their health and stuff.
Yeah, and then Honey, she was, I think, 6 years old. She was a lot younger, so she still has a lot of healthy years ahead of her. But that's kind of what you have to do, though, is evaluate, what on the farm makes sense and what does not make as much sense long term. So we'll definitely keep the alpacas as long as we can, but I like seeing them. They're beautiful when they're out in the field, and they were really working out well with the cattle. So as soon as the weather warms back up, we'll probably put them back out there. But that's the future. Cassie's donkey farm, not Cassie's alpaca farm. So while I am here on the farm, a lot of times I get time to take care of the animals, and I see what's going on in our neighborhood as far as traffic coming through, cars, strange cars. If I see some strange vehicle going to my neighbor's house, whatever. It's one benefit of being here is I get to see kind of what's going on. Well, since I have been home on the farm the last couple of years, I have seen several semi-trucks come through a back road that they really shouldn't be on, meaning the road that comes by our house. It's off of a state highway about a mile, and people use this as a shortcut to bypass town, and maybe their GPS is bringing them on this road. I don't know why they're coming on our road.
I don't know why it would,
but when they come on our road,
especially big loads, like they should have it mapped out and look at it and make sure it makes sense.
Yeah, but when they come on our road, a lot of times they don't consider low limbs hanging down, specifically one really low limb that's down on the corner of our property.
But also that turn is like a 90. So
A hard 90.
there's not much room. There's a low limb. It's 90 degrees. So if you're in a big,
There's ditches on each side.
yeah, and just if you're in a big rig, I don't know how you expect to make that turn, but they always try.
But they try. So that's what we're going to talk about is how many times do you think in the last, I don't know, couple years have we seen semi-trucks lose the top of their either they dent up the top of their sleeper. Sometimes they'll have like an aerodynamic thing up there, or they'll have a box truck where behind the cab it pops up like 4 or 5 foot, and it's basically just really thin sheet metal. I've seen at least 2 or 3 personally. I can't remember.
We've seen 2 or 3, but we've seen evidence of 5 or 6.
And so
we'll come home and we're like, oh, new metal stuck in the tree. Somebody hit it today.
So what happens is these trucks, they make that turn and they get the entire top of their truck scraped off, which has to be thousands of dollars worth of damage. Because I mean, if you scrape up your car and take it and just get a dent taken out, that's $500 or $1,000. Well, they're scraping down that top front corner, and it's going to cost a lot of money.
I would assume.
But that's just like the normal trucks, like a regular 53-foot trailer, semi-truck, this or that, or maybe just a tall truck. But a few days ago, we saw a extra wide load. I'm talking, this came from probably a metal manufacturer. People were asking in the comments, is that a house? They didn't know what it was. But
it was wrapped in some type of white plastic, or white wrap.
Yeah, like a white wrap to protect it from the elements is what it was wrapped in. But the super wide load came through with a pilot car in front, pilot car in back, flashing lights everywhere, wide load, get off the highway, we're coming through kind of load. And they decided that they were going to take this corner. The same corner that a regular truck has major issues with. And I thought, this isn't going to turn out well. So guess what I did?
Gary happened to be outside to see it.
I was putting out, I don't know if I was putting out hay. I think I was cutting, I think I was on my way to split some wood. And I don't know what I was doing. But I was working on the farm, and I saw this thing come through, and I said, you guys are going to enjoy this, so take a look.
Well, I don't know who thought this would be a good idea to bring a wide load down a country road, but it'll be interesting to see how it makes the corner or not. I've seen regular trucks not even make this corner. They are going to try to make the turn. They're pulling stop sign out. Hey, you didn't pay for that. My tax dollars did. Be good with it. Be easy. All right, we have movement. I've been filling the water up. But this is about to get good. I've got my popcorn ready. Let's see what happens. So like I said, I've seen trucks lose their trailers, the top of their trailers, right, zoom out a little bit, right here on this top of this limb. I've seen trucks completely lose their trailers. And this guy thinks he's gonna go under that with that giant box. Okay, I'm here for it. They've got the road blocked at this point, probably the busiest part of the day. So we'll see what happens. Oh, that truck's getting completely sideways with the trailer. That's nice. I just don't see it. Maybe that back turns like the front turns, but I just don't see it happening. This car says, oh, I'm finished. Let's get out of here. See, I'm just waiting for him to get halfway into it and then get hung up on that limb right there. Or take this tree down. Oh, he just hit the tree. Now what? Now what are you gonna do? Oh, gonna break the tree, that's what. Oh, doing damage to the trailer. Whatever that cargo is, it's just, oh! He says, I'm committed at this point. Let's just keep going. Oh! Can you guys hear that? Oh. Oh, the front guy says, oh, well, we're good now. Let's go. Let's just keep going. Oh, it did some major damage. Oh, they made the turn. I knew they wouldn't make it without hitting that tree, but they made the turn. All right, they're finally going through. Let's see who this is. Looks like J&L. Hey, damage isn't terrible, just a big old metal box. Hope the customer don't mind. Now this is the part that makes me mad. Well, they hit the tree, no big deal. That tree's got to go eventually. The county owns that tree. But look what they did. They drove off and they left the stop sign on the ground. And guess what? What if somebody comes through here and runs the stop sign, runs into the road? Who's at fault? Well, I guess they are. So I was going to see if I could see a place to put it. If not, I guess I'll call the county. They might have ran over the hole that it was in with their truck. I don't even know. So, all right, well, yeah, looks like it was right here. Oh, there it is. That's where it was at. And they put it right there. So I will say we have one of the best county commissioners we've ever had. When you call, they get on top of it. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that was right. A trucking company should not be able to just come through, pull up stop signs and lay them on the ground and leave. They obviously pulled it out of the dirt. They should carry a shovel or something to install it right back where it was at. So that's the life we live in, though. People just reckless, careless. They don't care. They're just trying to get their job done as fast as possible and move on. Bella, you having fun? You having fun with the new pup? Yeah. Hey, baby. Look like her old ears are getting chewed on by Bella. That's the way Bella shows her love, is chewing on people and things. You love her, Bella? You chewing on her? Down.
So not only was it entertaining, because, well, that was just entertaining to me. I just had time to just sit back and enjoy watching somebody else try to do something they shouldn't do and be like, huh, they probably shouldn't do that. But they literally rocked that tree back and forth like this. Once that load scraped all the way down the side, if you saw the tree, it started moving back and forth because they had so much pressure on it when they were making that wide turn.
But before that, they pulled the stop sign out of the ground so that they could even begin to make the turn.
Well, that's the main point, is not only did they pull the stop sign out of the ground, but they left it out of the ground. They just threw it on the ground, and when they drove off, they left it laying on the ground. So they could have, so I drove down there as soon as they left, and I looked at the ground to see if there was a hole, like a metal hole, that I could just put the stop sign back in, and there wasn't any kind of way for me to put it back in.
Oh, so it's not like it gets knocked down and taken down so much. Like, trucks take it out all the time. I figured there was something in the ground like a bolt and they just put it back by now.
No, so that's what I looked for, and I thought maybe I can just set it back in the ground. But no, they took it out of the ground, and then when they pulled it up out of the ground, they drove their truck over the area that it was in. And so, like, where the stop sign was now a big hole, a big rut from the semi-truck and trailer going over it. So, big problem, because when trucks and cars come down, pickups and cars come down that hill, you're coming up to it's not a four-way stop.
It's a T.
It's a T, which there's a driveway straight across. So now this traffic coming this way does not stop. Traffic coming this way should have a stop sign. Now they have zero stop sign. So that basically opened it up to where it was a major, I say liability for that company because they pulled the stop sign up and threw it on the ground. So I called our county. We have different districts. Our county in Oklahoma is Mays County. There's 3 different districts, District 1, 2, and 3. We're in District 3. So I called our county commissioner, County Barn, District 3, and they said that thanks for calling. I didn't know how long it would take, but 35 minutes. They had a county worker out there. They had them, they worked for probably 20 minutes. I don't know exactly what they did, if they had to dig a new hole or what, but they got the stop sign put up, and all things are well now. But
I'm struggling with my sinuses and allergies.
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that. I was in disbelief when I drove down there and the stop sign was laying on the ground. That's really opening themselves up to liability, lawsuits, something. Of course, they probably didn't expect that I was sitting there in my
Did they not see you?
field recording them. I mean, I was pumping water. They were taking forever.
Were you in the side-by-side?
I was in the side-by-side first. I was down in the field feeding the cows. And then I came up to start pumping some water because they were taking forever. And so I videoed and kind of watched as they were pumping water. Then I videoed the truck leaving as they went by. It looked like it was a company out of Missouri. I'm not familiar. J&L was the trucking company out of Missouri. They're based in Joplin, but that doesn't mean that's who pulled the sign up. The pilot cars that they hired may have pulled the sign up and left it. So anyway, super dangerous. Not quite sure why they would do that, but hey, if anybody like the county wants to recoup the cost of sending them people out there, J&L Trucking, you guys just hit me up. I'll send you my videos. So before we end the video, we always do want to have time for any prayer requests. If you guys have any, leave them down in the comments. And I think since we've made our last video, the plane crash happened with the helicopter in DC area, and that's the area we'll actually be flying into. Not that specific airport, but we will be flying into that area. So please remember those families that lost their loved ones. There were no survivors in that accident. So please remember those. But we do also have a praise today.
Yes. You guys know you've been praying for my friend, coworker, neighbor, Stacy, who was diagnosed 1 year ago with brain cancer. And she has made a miraculous recovery. God has healed her. And she shared her testimony Saturday at her church. I wasn't able to attend because I had basketball games, but I was able to watch the live. So over on our Facebook page, Walker Farm Fam, I'll be sharing that live from her church. If you would like to hear her story, her testimony, and what God is doing through her life.
So we know a lot of you guys have been invested in praying for her. We've asked multiple times, and we thank you so much for doing that. I'll try to leave a link to that same Facebook page in our video description today in this video. So if you want to go check that out, feel free to do that. But what we mainly wanted to do is give God the credit because miracles are still happening. She is a miracle because she was given very small amount of time to live.
They gave her 1 year to live, and she gave her testimony 1 year to the date that they told her that. And her doctor recently told her, "You are a miracle child," and not many doctors will say that.
Yeah, so it's beyond the doctor's belief, which is only means one thing: God is in control, and God can do anything. So you guys go check that out. We are encouraged by it. We hope it encourages you as well. We thank you for taking time out of your day to catch up with us. We hope you have a great day, and God bless.
Love you guys.